Okay, hey folks, we're back again. Listen, I've got my combination units done that I showed you in an earlier video. I want to show you how to trim these up. Like I said, these are oversized. Dan's going to zoom in here and we're going to show you 2 ways to trim those things up. Now, if you're a Scrappy Rooster customer, you know we use Tucker Trimmer a lot. This is one of the first tools we teach in Tucker University. This I love for trimming. If you're using a Tucker trimmer, I have lines here. Okay, I've sewn my black quarter square triangle to my white quarter square triangle. I pressed to the dark. I sewed my half square unit then, that one, to the lime half square unit as such. Then I took it to my ironing board and I pressed to the dark and then pressed both the quarter square units to the lime. All right, that makes it lie down well. All right, then I'm ready to trim. So on the Tucker trimmer, I'm trimming to 4 1/2. So I hold it so that my 1/2 inch increments are showing on my ruler. I want to make sure I have 4 1/2 inches. So you notice her registration marks. There's a line right through the center. I'm looking at my 4 1/2 inch registration mark. I know that I have plenty of room to trim. So I take the 4 1/2 dash line, the diagonal line through the entire ruler, and I line it up right there in the center. I have extra fabric outside the ruler. I have extra fabric beyond the 4 1/2. This is where I take my trimmer, I trim there, I trim here. I didn't make that cut. Then I rotate this. This time I'm going to lay my 4 1/2 inch dotted line right on the edge of my fabric. Here's the 4 1/2 inch registration mark, and there's the solid diagonal line through the block. I make this cut, and I have my 4 1/2 inch unit. So see, we went from the rough unit trimming to 4 1/2. Now, not everyone uses a Tucker trimmer, so I'm going to show you using just a regular ruler how you can make this cut and still come out with a 4 1/2 inch. So this is a Creative Grids 6 1/2 by 12 1/2. There are markings on the Creative Grid rulers that will help you. And like, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm using this 45-degree angle line from the corner here. I'm still looking at my 4 1/2 inch registration line, but I have to remember that's where it is. It's marked on Tucker. It's not marked on here per se. So what I'm doing is I'm lining up that 45-degree angle right there on that line between the 2 white and black quarter square triangles. Again, I can do the same thing. I see that I have fabric outside on both edges. Here's my 4 1/2 inch mark, and I have plenty of fabric outside that. So all I have to do here is make this cut, this cut. Boy, that was close to those fingers. Again, I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to again use that 45-degree line, but look, this time I'm placing my 4 1/2 inch mark right on the line with that diagonal in place. Remember what I said earlier, measure twice, cut once. I'm glad I looked because I had slipped. So then I make this cut, and again, I have a 4 1/2 inch finished block. Oh, there's so many things you could do with this. So we do that with all 4 of our blocks. I'm going to quickly do this. I'm going to do one more with my tucker. There's my 4.5. I have the diagonal line right between those 2 quarter square triangles. I'm making these 2 cuts. I'm rotating my unit. This time I'm lining up the 4.5 inch line right on the edge of the fabric, watching that diagonal line there, and I'm making this cut. Again, there's another 4.5 inch square. I'm going to do one more with the creative grids. Again, now I'm going to start with the lime on the outside. It's the same process. There's that 45-degree angle line. I'm lining it up right on that seam line between the black and the white quarter square triangle. I'm making sure I have fabric beyond my 4.5 inch mark. Do that final alignment, and I'm cutting 2 times. I'm rotating that block, and this time I'm placing my 4.5 inch right on the line. Again, using that that diagonal mark. Oopsie. And then make that cut. And that's how I trim up my triangle units, my combination units, to make those. All right, then you're ready to lay out your squares and complete your unit. I just took my squares to the other room, so I don't have them with me.